Vasudev. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Cha Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudire Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. So continuing with the discussion on Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila, Chapter 3, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's stay at the house of Advaita Acharya. Text 200 onwards. So we know yesterday Mahaprabhu wanted to leave for Jagannath Puri, but Advaita Acharya again asked him to stay for a few more days. So Mahaprabhu stayed back. Anandita Haila Acharya Shachi Bhakta Sahaba Pratidin Kare Acharya Mahamahotsava. Lord Chaitanya's decision was received very happily by Advaita Acharya, Mother Shachi, and all the devotees. Advaita Acharya celebrated every day with a great festival. Dine Krishna Katha Rasa Bhakta Gana Sange Ratre Maha Mahotsava Sankirtana Range. During the day, the devotees discussed subject matters concerning Krishna, and at night there was a great festival of congregational chanting at the house of Advaita Acharya. Anandita Haya Shachi Kare Narandhana Sukhe Bhojan Kare Prabhu Laya Bhaktagana. Mother Shachi cooked with great pleasure, and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, along with the devotees, accepted the prasadam with great pleasure. Acharya Shraddha Bhakti Griha Sampadhane Sakala Safala Haila Prabhu Radhane. In this way, all the opulences of Advaita Acharya, his faith, devotion, home, riches, and everything else, was successfully utilized in the worship of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Advaita Acharya set an ideal example for all householder devotees in his reception of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his devotees, and in his execution of a daily festival at his home. If one has a proper means and wealth, he should occasionally invite the devotees of Lord Chaitanya who are engaged in preaching all over the world and hold a festival at home simply by distributing prasadam and talking about Krishna during the day and holding congregational chanting for at least 3 hours in the evening. Wow. So at least 3 hours of chanting. Sankirtan. This procedure must be adopted in all centers of the Krishna consciousness movement. Thus, they will daily perform Sankirtan Yajna. In Srimad Bhagavatam, the daily performance of Sankirtan Yajna is recommended for this day, for this age. Yajna Sankirtan Praya Yajanti Hi Sumedasa. One should worship Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his 4 associates, the Panch Tattva, by distributing prasadam and holding congregational chanting. Indeed, that yajna or sacrifice is most recommended in this age of Kali. In this age, other yajnas are not possible to perform, but this yajna can be performed everywhere and anywhere without difficulty. So simple, Mahaprabhu's program. Just have prasadam together, discuss, have Krishna Katha, and chant. Shachira Ananda Bade Dekhi Putra Mukha Bhojana Karaya Purna Kaila Nitya Sukha. As Mother Shachi constantly saw the face of her son and fed him, her own happiness increased and was indeed complete. Ei mata advaita grihe bhakta gana mele vanchi laka taka dena mahakutuhale. In this way, at Advaita Acharya's house, all the devotees met and passed some days together in a great festive mood. आर दिन प्रभु कहे सब भक्त गाने निज निज गृह सबे करह गमाने. The next day, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu requested all the devotees to return to their respective homes. Ghare giya kar sabe Krishna Sankirtan, punarapi ama sange hai be milan. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also asked them to execute the congregational chanting of the holy name of the Lord at their homes, and he assured them they would be able to meet him again. So if we do this congregational chanting, means this is for all the grihasthas. If we do it at home, Mahaprabhu is saying he assured them that they would be able to meet him again. Kabuva tomar karibe nila drigamana, kabuva siba ami karite gangasnan. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told them, sometimes you will come to Jagannath Puri and sometimes I shall come bathe in the Ganges, bathe in the Ganga. Nityananda Gosai, Pandit Jagdananda, Damodar Panditar Datta Mukunda, Eichari Jana Acharya Dila Prabhu Sahane, Janani Prabodhakari Vandila Charane. Sri Advaita Acharya sent 4 persons, Nityanand Gosai, Jagdanand Pandit, Damodar Pandit, and Mukundatta, to accompany the Lord to Jagannath Puri. After pacifying his mother, Shachimata, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu submitted prayers to her lotus feet. Tare pradakshina kari kari lagamana, etha acharera ghare uthaila krandana. When everything was arranged, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu circumambulated his mother and then started for Jagannath Puri. In the house of Advaita Acharya, there arose tumultuous crying. Nirupeksha haya Prabhu shigra chalila, kandite kandite Acharya pashata chalila. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was unaffected. He left swiftly, and Advaita Acharya followed him, weeping, kandite kandite, crying and crying. As Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur explains, the word Nirupeksha means not being affected by anything material and remaining fixed in the service of the Lord. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not very much care for the roaring tumult and cry at the house of Advaita Acharya, which he heard when starting for Jagannath Puri. Worldly moralists may criticize Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for being very cruel, but the Lord did not care for such criticism. As a world teacher of this Krishna consciousness movement, he actually showed that a person seriously engaged in Krishna consciousness should not be affected by worldly affection. The best course is to engage in rendering service to the Lord and to become callous to material objectives. Externally, everyone is attached to material things, but if one becomes entangled in such things, he cannot make progress in Krishna consciousness. Therefore, those who are engaged in Krishna consciousness should not care for the so-called morality of the material world, if that morality opposes the service of the Lord. As Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has personally shown, one cannot properly execute Krishna consciousness without being neutral. So it just, when a higher duty is there, higher dharma, then one has to be unaffected or unattached to other dharma. Just like for a soldier, when he goes to the war, although his wife and his children, his mother might be crying at home, but he has a higher duty to perform. So he goes. He goes unattached, because if he is still attached, he cannot perform his duty properly. Now here Mahaprabhu is leaving for, of course, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is God himself. He doesn't need to perform any duty, but the reason he came to earth for, now he had to give it to the people in general. So similarly, if we have accepted a higher duty, higher dharma, then we have to be ready to perform that at any cost. Everybody, like Prabhupada said, so-called morality of the material world, because everybody will think according to their own consciousness, according to their own mentality. They will think that way. And from their perspective, they're not wrong either. But the person, devotee, has to see what's the best thing according to scriptures. Then he should perform that and take care of those duties. कत दूर गिया प्रभु करी जोड़ हाथ आचार्य प्रबोधि कहे किछु मिष्ट बात. After he had followed Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for some distance, Advaita Acharya was petitioned by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu with folded hands. The Lord spoke the following sweet words. Janani prabodhi kar bhakta samadhana, tumi vyagra haile karo narahive pran. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, please specify all the devotees and my mother. If you become agitated, no one will be able to continue to exist. Etabali Prabhu Tare Kari Alingana Nivriti Kariya Kaila Swachanda Gamana. Saying this, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu embraced Advaita Acharya and stopped him from following any further. Then, without anxiety, he proceeded to Jagannath Puri. Ganga tire tire Prabhu chari jan saathe, Nila dricha lila Prabhu chhatra bhog paathe. The Lord, along with the other four persons, went along the banks of the Ganga through the path of Chhatra Bhoga towards Niladri, Jagannath Puri. In the southern section of Eastern Railway, in the district of 24 Parganas, is a station named Magrahata. If one goes to southeastern side of that station for some 14 miles, there is a place called Jayanagar. About 6 miles south of this Jayanagar station is a village named Chhatrabhoga. Sometimes this village is called Khadi. In this village is a deity of Lord Shiva known as Vajurkanath. A festival takes place there every year during the month of Chaitra, March, April. The festival is known as Nanda Mela. At the present moment, the Ganga does not flow there. On the same railway line is another station known as Baruipura. And near this station is another place called Atisara. Formerly, this village was also situated on the banks of the Ganga. One can go from this village to Panihati and from there to Varahanagar, north of Calcutta. In those days, the Ganga flowed to the south of Calcutta through Kalighat, which is still known as Adi Ganga. From Baruipura, the Ganga branched out and flowed through Diamond Harbour near the Mathurapura police station. It is to be noted that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu passed through all these places on his way to Jagannath Puri. And he was walking. There was no other means of transportation. Chaitanya Mangale Prabhur Niladri Gamana Vistari Varniya Chena Dasu Vrindavan. In his book known as Chaitanya Mangal or Chaitanya Bhagavat now, Vrindavan Das Thakur has elaborately described the Lord's passage to Jagannath Puri. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur states that while Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu passed through Bengal, he passed through Atisara Gram, Varaha Gram, and Chhatrabhoga. He then reached the Odisha province where he passed through Prayaghat, the Suvarna Rekha river, Remuna, Yajpura, where he bathed at the Dashashwamedha Ghat, on the Vaitarni river, Katak, where the Mahanadi river flows, Bhubaneswar, where there is a big lake known as Bindu Sarovar, Kamalpura, and Atharnala. In this way, passing through all these and other places, he reached Jagannath Puri. Advaita Grihe Prabhur Vila Shun Ye Jana Achire Milaye Tare Krishna Premadhan. If one hears the activities of the Lord at the house of Advaita Acharya, he will certainly very soon attain the riches of love of Krishna. Shirupa Raghunatha Padajar Asha Chaitanya Charitamrita Kahe Krishna Das. Praying at the lotus feet of Shirupa and Raghunath, always desiring their mercy, I, Krishnadas, narrate Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, following in their footsteps. So thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila, 3rd chapter, describing Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's stay at the house of Advaita Acharya, his acceptance of the sannyas order, and observation of daily festivals at Advaita Acharya's house, his congregational chanting of the holy name of the Lord, and his feasting with all the devotees. So we still have time, so we can start the next chapter, chapter 4, Shri Madhvendra Puri's devotional service. So this, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu reached Remuna, and he saw this beautiful deity of Kirchara Gopinath. So Nityanand Prabhu told him the story, because Nityanand Prabhu had already been to all these places with that sannyasi when he left his house, when he was little boy. And so he had been to all these places and he was telling Mahaprabhu the stories. And the beautiful story, there are so many stories combined here. So let's see. Yasmai datum chorayam khir bandham Gopinath Krishna chorabhido abhuta Shri Gopala pradurashid vashahasham Yat premna tam madhvendram nato asmi. I offer my respectful obeisances unto Madhvendra Puri, who was given a part of sweet rice stolen by Shri Gopinath, celebrated thereafter as Kshira Chora. Being pleased by Madhvendra Puri's love, Shri Gopal, the deity at Govardhan, appeared to the public vision. Bhaktivinoda Thakur annotates that this Gopal deity was originally installed by Vajra, the great grandson of Krishna. Madhvendra Puri rediscovered Gopal and established him on top of Govardhan Hill. This Gopal deity is now situated at Nathadwar and is under the management of descendants of Vallabhacharya. The worship of the deity is very luxurious, and one who goes there can purchase varieties of prasadam by paying a small price. Yes, Nathadwar deity worship is amazing and very, very luxurious. And it is, it's the second richest temple. First is Tirupati, second is Nathadwar. Jai Jai Gaura Chandra, Jai Nityananda, Jai Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. All glories to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all glories to Nityananda Prabhu, all glories to Advaita Prabhu, and all glories to all the devotees of Lord Chaitanya. Niladri Gaman Jagannath Darshan, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya Prabhura Milan. Ei sab Leela Prabhur Das Vrindavan, Vistari Kar Yachena Uttama Varnan. The Lord went to Jagannath Puri and visited Lord Jagannath's temple. He also met with Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. All these pastimes have been very elaborately explained by Vrindavan Das Thakur in his book Chaitanya Bhagavat. Sahaj Vichitra Madhur Chaitanya Vihara Vrindavan Das Mukhe Amriter Dhara. By nature, all the activities of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are very wonderful and sweet. And when they are described by Vrindavan Das Thakur, they become like a shower of nectar. Ateva taha varnile haya punarakti dambha kari varni yadi taichinai shakti. Therefore, I very humbly submit that since these incidents have already been nicely described by Vrindavan Das Thakur, I would be very proud to repeat the same thing, and this would not be very good. I do not have such powers. Chaitanya Mangale Jaha Karila Varnana Sutra Rupe Lila Kariye Suchan. I am therefore presenting only a synopsis of those events already described elaborately by Vrindavan Das Thakur in his Chaitanya Mangal, or now known as Chaitanya Bhagavat. Tara Sutre Achetena Nakaila Varnana Yatha Kathan Chitta Kari Selila Kathan. Some of the incidents he did not describe elaborately, but only summarized, and these I shall try to describe in this book. अतएव तार पाए करी नमस्कार तार पाए अपराध लाहौ कमार. I thus offer my respectful obeisances unto the lotus feet of Vrindavan Das Thakur. I hope that I will not offend his lotus feet by this action. Ei mata Mahaprabhu chalila nila chale chari bhakta sange Krishna kirtana kutuhale. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu proceeded towards Jagannath Puri with 4 of his devotees. And he chanted the holy name of the Lord, the Hare Krishna mantra, with great eagerness. Bhiksha lagi ek din ek gram giya, apane bahut an anila magiya. Each day Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally went to a village and collected a great quantity of rice and other grains for the preparation of prasadam. पथे बड़ा बड़ा दानी विघ्न नाही करे तासा बारे कृपा करी आइला रे मुनारे. There were many rivers on the way, and at each river there was a tax collector. The tax collectors did not hinder the Lord, however, and he showed them mercy. Finally, he reached the village of Remuna. There is a railway station named Baleshwar, and 5 miles to the west is the village of Remuna. Baleshwar is also known as Balasore. The temple of Chichora Gopinath still exists in this village, and within the temple, the Samadhi tomb of Rasikanand Prabhu, a chief disciple of Shyamanand Goswami, can still be found. Remunate Gopinath Paramamohana Bhakti Kari Kaila Prabhu Tara Darshan. The deity of Gopinath in the temple at Remuna was very attractive. Lord Chaitanya visited the temple and offered his obeisances with great devotion. Tar pad padma nikat pranam karite, tar pushpa choda padila prabhura mathate. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu offered his obeisances at the lotus feet of the Gopinath deity, the helmet of flowers on the head of Gopinath fell down and landed on the head of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chudapaya Mahaprabhu Ranandita Man Baho Nitya Gita Kaila Laya Bhaktagan. When the deity's helmet fell upon his head, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became very pleased, and thus he chanted and danced in various ways with his devotees. So the deity also reciprocates sometimes. And now Krishna himself, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has come there. So Gopinathji reciprocated. Prabhur prabhav deki prema rupa gana vismita haila Gopinathir das gana. All the servants of the deity were struck with wonder due to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's intense love, his exquisite beauty, and his transcendental qualities. Nana rupe pritya kaila prabhu rasevan, sei ratri taha prabhu karila vanchan. Because of their love for Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they served him in many ways, and that night the Lord stayed at the temple of Gopinath. Mahaprasad Kshira Lobhe Rahila Prabhu Tatha Purve Ishvara Puri Tare Kabhi Kahiyache na Katha. The Lord remained there because he was very eager to receive the remnants of sweet rice offered to Gopinath deity, having heard a narration from his spiritual master Ishwar Puri of what had once happened there. क्षीर चोर गोपीनाथ प्रसिद्ध तार नाम भक्त गण कहे प्रभु सहित आख्यान. The deity was known widely as Kshirchora Gopinath, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told his devotees the story of how the deity became so famous. Okay, so Mahaprabhu told that. I thought Nityanand Prabhu told him the story. But anyway. Purve Madhav Purir lagi Kshir Kaila Chori Ateva Nama Haila Kshir Chora Hari. Formerly, the deity had stolen a pot of sweet rice from Madhavendra Puri. Therefore, he became very famous as the Lord who stole the sweet rice. Purve Shri Madhav Puri Aila Vrindavan Brahmite Brahmite Gela Giri Govardhan. Once Shri Madhavendra Puri traveled to Vrindavan, where he came upon the hill known as Govardhan. Preme mata nahi tar ratri din jnana kshane uthe kshane pade nahi sthana sthana. Madhavendra Puri was almost mad in his ecstasy of love of Godhead, and he did not know whether it was day or night. Sometimes he stood up, and sometimes he fell to the ground. He could not discriminate whether he was in proper place or not. Shaila parikrama kari Govind kunde aasi snan kari vriksha tale ache sandhya evasi. After circumambulating the hill, Madhavendra Puri went to Govind Kund and took his bath. He then sat beneath a tree to take his evening rest. Gopal balak ek dugdh bhandalaya aasi agi dhari kichu balila hasiya. While he was sitting beneath a tree, an unknown cowherd boy came with a pot of milk, placed it before Madhavendra Puri, and smiling, addressed him as follows. Puriyai dugdalaya kara tumi paya, magi kene nahi khao, kiva kara dhyana. O Madhavendra Puri, please drink the milk I have brought. Why don't you beg some food to eat? What kind of meditation are you undergoing? बालकेर सौंदर्यपुरीर हैला संतोष ताहर मधुर वाक्य गेला भोग शोष. When he saw the beauty of that boy, Madhavendra Puri became very satisfied. Hearing his sweet words, he forgot all hunger and thirst. Puri kahe ki tumi kaha tomar vasha kema te janile ami kari upavasa. Madhavendra Puri said, who are you? Where do you reside? And how did you know that I was fasting? बालक कहे गोपामी हे ग्रामे वासी हमारा ग्रामेते केहा ना रहे उपवासी. The boy replied, Sir, I'm a cowherd boy and I reside in this village. In my village, no one fasts. So this is important to know. Krishna, yeah, of course, the boy was Krishna. And he said, in my village, no one fasts. So actually, it is true. Even if we go to Braj, not just Govardhan, Braj, anywhere in Braj. If you're hungry, if you go somewhere, somebody will feed you. The Brajvasis are like that. They'll feed you. They won't ask for any money or anything. They'll just feed you. So this is also Krishna's way of taking care of his devotees. Keha anna magi khai, keha dugdha dhara, aya chak jane ami diyeta ahara. In this village, a person can beg food from others and thus eat. Some people drink only milk, but if a person does not ask anyone for food, I supply him all his eatables. That's Krishna's mercy, a love for his devotees. Because this was Madhvendra Puri's vow that he will not eat anything unless somebody asks him to eat. So he did not ask, he did not beg, he did not do any madhukari. But Krishna knows. Krishna knows my devotee is fasting. So he came to feed him. जल नीते स्त्री गण तुम्हार देखी गेला स्त्री सब दुग्ध दिया हमारा पठाइला. The women who come here to take water saw you and they supplied me with this milk and sent me to you. गोदोहन करीते चाही शीघ्र आमी आवा आर बार आसी आमी ए भांड लाइबा. The boy continued, I must go very soon to milk the cows, but I shall return and take back this milk pot from you. एत बलि गेला बालक न देखिए आर माधव पुरीर चित्ते हाइला चमत्कार. Saying this, the boy left the place. Indeed, he suddenly could not be seen no more, and Madhavendra Puri's heart was filled with wonder. दुग्ध पान करी भांडा दुह रखीला बात देखे से बालक पुना न आईला. After drinking the milk, Madhavendra Puri washed the pot and put it aside. He looked towards the path, but the boy never returned. वशी नाम लया पूरी निद्र नहीं हाया शेष रात्रे तंद्रा हेला बाह्य वृत्ति लाया. Madhavendra Puri could not sleep. He sat and chanted the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and at the end of the night he dozed a little, and his external activities stopped. स्वप्न देखे सही बालक सम्मुखे आसिया एक कुंजे लाया गेला आटे ते धरिया. In a dream, Madhavendra Puri saw the very same boy. The boy came before him and holding his hand took him to a bush in the jungle. कुंज देखाया कहे आमी ए कुंजर आई शीत शीत वृष्टि वाताग्निते महादुख पाई. The boy showed Madhavendra Puri the bush and said, I reside in this bush, and because of this, I suffer very much from severe cold, rain showers, winds, and scorching heat. ग्रामेर लोके लोकानियाम काड़ा कुंज हाइते पर्वतो परिलया राख बालमाते. Please bring the people of the village and get them to take me out of this bush. Then have them situate me nicely on top of the hill. एक मठ करिता कर स्थापना बहु शीतल जले कर श्रीअंग marjan. Please construct a temple on top of that hill, the boy continued, and install me in that temple. After this, wash me with great quantities of cold water so that my body may be cleansed. See, Krishna, what he wants to do, he can do. What's so difficult for him? But here he wanted to take service from Madhavendra Puri. And he wanted to be established on top of Golden Hill. Bahudin tomar bath kari nirikshan kabe ashi madhva ama karibe seva. For many days I have been observing you and I have been wondering when will Madhavendra Puri come here to serve me. Tomar prema vashe kari seva angikara darshan diya nistari ba sakala sansara. I have accepted you. I have accepted your service due to your ecstatic love for me. Thus I shall appear, and by my audience, all fallen souls will be delivered. So I have accepted your service due to your ecstatic love for me. So this is what Krishna is waiting for us to develop love for him so he can engage us in his service. He doesn't need anything else. He doesn't need big scholarship, lots of money, or anything. All he needs is ecstatic love for him. Shri Gopal Nam Mora Govardhana Dhari Vajre Rastapita Ami Adhikari. My name is Gopal. I am the lifter of Govardhan Hill. I was installed by Vajra. Vajra? No, actually, Vajra. And here I am the authority. शैला उपरि हैतयाम कुंजे लुकाइयाम लेच भाई सेवक मोरा गेला पलाइया. When the Muslims attacked, the priest who was serving me hid me in this bush in the jungle. Then he ran away out of fear of the attack. Sei haite rahi ami ekunja sthane bhala haila aila ama kada savadhane. Since the priest went away, I have been staying in this bush. It is very good that you have come here. Now just remove me with great care. Eta bali sai balak antardhan kaila jagiya madhav puri vichara karila. After saying this, the boy disappeared. Then Madhavendra Puri woke up and began to consider his dream. Shri Krishna ke dekhi umui nari no chinti chinite eta bali prema veshe padila bhrumite. Madhavendra Puri began to lament. I saw Lord Krishna directly, but I could not recognize him. Thus he fell down on the ground in ecstatic love. So he was sad, upset that he could not recognize Krishna. And he fell down on the ground in ecstatic love that I saw Krishna. Krishna was here. Kshane karodan kari man kaila dhira. Agya palana ka lagi kaila susthira. Madhavendra Puri cried for some time, but then he fixed his mind on executing the order of Gopal. Thus he became tranquil. He calmed down. प्रातः स्नान करी पुरी ग्राम मध्य गेला सब लोक एकत्र करी कहिते लगी. After taking his morning bath, Madhavendra Puri entered the village and assembled all the people. Then he spoke as follows. ग्रामेर ईश्वर तोमार गोवर्धन धारी कुंजे आचे चल तारे बाहिर जे कारी. The proprietor of this village, Govardhan Dhari, is lying in the bushes. Let us go there and rescue him from that place. अत्यंत निविड़ कुंज नारी प्रवेशित कुठारी को डाली लाहा द्वारा करीत. The bushes are very dense and will not be able to enter the jungle. Therefore, take choppers and spades to clear the way. Shuni lok tar sange chalila harishe kunja kati dwar kari karila praveshe. After hearing this, all the people accompanied Madhavendra Puri with great pleasure. According to his directions, they cut down bushes, cleared a path, and entered the jungle. Because they wanted to make sure the deity is not hurt in any way by their cutting down the bushes. So they were following Madhavendra Puri's instructions. Thakura dekhila mati trine acha dita, dekhi sabha loka haile anande vismita. When they saw the deity covered with dirt and grass, they were all struck with wonder and pleasure. Avarana durkari karila vidite, mahabhari thakur keha nae chalaite. After they had cleansed the body of the deity, some of them said the deity is very heavy. No single person can move him. Maha Maha Balishta Loka Ekatra Kari Parvatu Pari Gela Puri Thakuralaya. Since the deity was very heavy, some of the stronger men assembled to carry him to the top of the hill. Madhavendra Puri also went there. So I guess we can stop here and take up the rest of this pastime tomorrow. See anybody has any questions or comments. In fact, talking about Khir Chora Gopinath. Look at this. Mahaprabhu is speaking of this pastime in that temple. So in our Toronto temple, Toronto, Canada, when the deities, also all the deities of Radha Krishna, they were made by devotees went to Jaipur to get the deities made, and they would ship them to the different place where the deities would be installed. So they got this Radha Krishna deity made for Toronto temple, and they shipped them to Toronto. And when the deities came there, now every deity, everywhere, Radharani and Krishna, both of them, they have different mood. They have different way how they want to appear. So this deity that was made in Jaipur and was shipped, when he came to Toronto, and Prabhupada was, I don't know, he was there for installation or he was there when he saw the deities. This deity in Toronto, Krishna, he is little, I won't say chubby, but he has a little big belly than the other deities normally you would see. So his belly is little big, not too big, little big. So Prabhupada said he likes to eat kheer. So name him Gopinath. So that's a deity name in Toronto, Radha Gopinath. Oh no, I'm sorry, Kheer He's Radha Kheer Gopinath. So Prabhupada said he likes to eat kheer. And till today, every day he is fed large amounts of kheer every day. And whether now there are not too many devotees in the temple. So Sunday, yes, many congregation devotees come, but weekdays there are not too many devotees, and large amounts of kheer is made, but they all either give it away or throw it away because nobody can eat it. Nobody is there to eat that kheer. But every day they have to prepare. It's Radha, Kheer Chora, Gopinath. So just to let you know. Okay, I guess we can stop here. So you all have a safe and wonderful day. Hare Krishna. Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna.